G'day everyone, I'm Jimmy and I'm going to share with you today the secret of how I get my SEO teams to learn SEO quickly as well as properly. So for those who don't know who I am, I'm Jimmy from My Online Guy and I have a seven-figure digital marketing agency and we have a lot of SEO clients. And because of this, we have quite a large SEO team. And I personally have been doing SEO for a long time, but my team hasn't. So I need to pass on that knowledge. So I mainly make videos to help people get out of their 9-to-5 grind and into the digital space like I did with wife, kids, children, mortgage, all that kind of stuff. So if you want more content like that, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Now, like I said, I don't think I've ever told anyone how to do what I'm about to tell you how to do today. There is a lot of people out there that are selling SEO courses. And because of that, it makes SEO more complex than it actually needs to be. And the fundamental problem with doing a course without the foundational knowledge of SEO is that you start to just take what's being told to you as gospel. So you'll pay $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 for a course and you'll do it and you'll think that's the only way to do SEO. The best way to learn SEO is to understand the foundations of SEO and the fundamentals of SEO, and then you can use courses to build on top of the stuff that you don't necessarily know how to do, right? That's how I learned how to do SEO, and I've been doing SEO now for almost 10 years. And every time there's been an update, we've been able to adjust, duck and dive without having to wait for someone to build a course to tell us how to fix things. And the reason for that is because we have a good foundational understanding of search engine optimization. And like I said, I use this to teach my team how to do SEO. When we hire SEOs, search engine optimizers, to help us, I just assume that they don't know what I know about SEO. And as arrogant and as bad as that sounds, from experience, I kind of know that there will be gaps in their knowledge. So we go back to basics. And I am going to tell you how we do that. And like I said, I've never really shared this with anyone because I feel like it's a competitive advantage. But when you hear it, you're going to be like, that's actually pretty simple, but it's amazing how how people can overcomplicate things like this. So let's just get straight into it. I know you clicked on this video for a reason. So the best single way to learn SEO quickly and properly is to use the tools. So what do I mean by that? You may not know it now because you might be wanting to get into the space, but there's several tools out there that are specifically designed for SEO professionals. Things like Screaming Frog, Ahrefs, Moz, SEMrush. There's a whole bunch of tools out there that have been specifically designed for SEOs. And a lot of these tools have been around a very long time. So this is how I personally got into SEO. Is I took Moz, which was a tool that exists, and I basically bought a subscription to it. I got a trial to it, and I looked at the tool and I looked at every single thing that was on the user interface, and I basically just researched all those things. So I had no underpinning knowledge about SEO. I'm a tradesperson. I was a hydraulic fitter, so I had no underpinning knowledge about SEO. So I basically went into the tool and I went, okay, well, if I wanted to learn how to do something that I have no idea about, what's the best way to do it? And that's what I found. So what this looks like is basically these companies have invested several millions of dollars into improving their user interface because it's quite a competitive space. The tools for search engine optimization professionals is quite competitive because there's big dollar figures involved. So a lot of these tools only have a certain amount of real estate on their actual program to use. So they only include the things that SEOs really want to look at. So if you think about it like that, if you unpack that, if you go through one of these tools and actually look at the things that are on there, you'll realize that they're probably the most important things to a search engine optimizer. So the way I went about this and the way I get my team to do this is we basically look at a tool. We currently look at Ahrefs because it's the tool we use the most. And I sit down with my team member and we go, okay, let's have a look at this tool. So we got overview, I think overview 2.0 is there now, but okay, DR. See, DR is right there front and center. Okay, what does DR stand for? Okay, well, it's domain ranking. Okay, well, what does that mean? Why is that important? Why is it at the primary spot on this tool? Why is it like the front and center? And so what we do then is I get them to get a notepad. We use it digitally, obviously, but like we write down DR and we write down the questions: how, what, when, why. So why is DR important? why is it on the front page of this website? And then we start to do some digging. And then what we do is we make a list of all the things that we don't understand. And then we just start to do research on those things. And then we start connecting all the dots together. So you got DR, you got UR, you got traffic, you got backlinks, the referral domains, you got all of these terms that effectively acts like a second language. You need to understand fundamentally why they're on this tool to get good at SEO and to have a good foundational understanding. Once you start to learn what some of these terms mean, so like let's take DR for example. Ahrefs has a blog specifically about DR. You can read that, watch YouTube videos about DR. So instead of searching like what is SEO, you search what is DR, and you watch a 10-minute video on DR specifically. And once you understand DR and UR at the start, none of it's going to really make sense to you. But as you start to go through the tools and learn why things are on the tools, then you start to actually learn the connections between the two. It's like, okay, well, why are DR and UR next to each other on this tool? Okay, well, because they're important and they connect to each other. Okay, well, why is referring domains and backlinks there? Okay, well, I'm clicking on backlinks and I'm like, okay, well, why is it laid out like this? You can literally use YouTube to teach you how to do SEO. And the beauty about doing it this way is it removes all of the fluff. Like I said, these tools put these specific metrics on their valuable real estate of their program for a reason, because SEOs need access to these metrics that do it professionally. So you can use those metrics to really supercharge and learn quickly the stuff that you need to know. Once you start getting those connections together and start working out, it's a little bit like learning a language. You're going to hear individual words, and then once you start to understand how to pronounce them properly, you're going to be able to start to string them together and they start to link together. That's what happens with these tools when you start learning the individual parts of them. You'll go, okay, so referral domains and backlinks are pretty much the same thing. They're just looking at different stuff. Okay, well, why is that important? Bang, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. You do that, you go through one of these tools and you do it that way, you eventually get like an underpinning understanding of SEO, and then there'll be specific things that you hear. So the other part of learning SEO quickly is saturating yourself in the market, going and joining Facebook groups and SEO Roundtable and just being in saturating the space, and you'll hear terms and you'll see things written in these articles and go, wait a minute, I remember reading something about SERPs. What are SERPs? Bang. Next thing, you're able to formulate your own strategies based off different opinions because you understand the fundamental language of SEO. And then you can just use courses to reinforce specific parts. So like right now, right, because of my underpinning knowledge of search engine optimization, my general broad knowledge of it, if there's a topic that I don't know much about, like JavaScript rendering, for instance, or was one area that I didn't know much about, instead of having to go back through and do a course in it, I just like researched DataScript rendering, and I was able to learn about the topic in an hour or two. And that then tied back into, well, why are we doing all this? Oh, actually, this is where it fits into my knowledge of search engine optimization. The same way doctors upskill, doctors do the same thing. They have an underpinning knowledge of medicine, and then they do conferences to learn specific techniques. That's how you need to learn SEO, in my opinion. And it's why I feel like so many people spin their wheels, and why so many people wig out when there's an update, is because they haven't taken the time to learn the fundamentals of why all this stuff connects together. And that makes a big difference. So that's how we teach our team now. And the upskilling of our team has gone from teach someone that not knowing anything about SEO to having a very, very good fundamental understanding of SEO in about 4 to 5 weeks of intensive training, as opposed to like 6 months, because that process is actually interchangeable. It's not about like teaching them specific tactics that could go fizzle out in 6 months if Google updates. It's about understanding the fundamentals of why a backlink's important, understanding the fundamentals of why UR is important, understanding the fundamentals of what makes a keyword move up and down relative to other keywords. All this information is available on the internet. The reason it's so difficult for people to learn SEO is because you basically just get bombarded with several different opinions about how it should be done. You need to, if you really want to be good at SEO, you need to be able to formulate your own opinion and put it to market and test it. You don't want to take someone else's opinion about how to do SEO and take it as gospel and not understand why other people do things other ways. I see this all the time with link building. We're not huge on link building here, but that's because we have a foundational understanding about SEO, and I've looked and assessed several different ways of going specific tactics, and we've chosen through our understanding of SEO not to put as much emphasis on that and more on content. You can only do that if you have a foundational, fundamental understanding of search engine optimization. And the single best way to get that quickly and properly is by looking at the tools. So obviously a lot of what I've been saying here is theoretical, but make sure to watch the next video over here. I'm going to actually bring up Ahrefs and I'm going to walk you through some actual tangible examples of how you would do that. So make sure to catch that video here. This is the next video you need to watch. So I'll see you guys in the next video.